Okay, so it looks like we're actually streaming.
Nice. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Rob Booker. Nice to have you here. I'm back from a little holiday break with the family, and I have some stuff I want to talk to you about starting over. As usual, I think for everybody that watches the video today, we want to do a giveaway again, and I'm really enjoying giving away these Amazon Echo speakers. So leave a comment below. Let us know where you're from. Nate always appreciates friendly comments, nice comments, maybe even compliments to Nate. We're not above that, just kidding. But leave us a comment. Let us know where you're from. Let us know that you're watching. And we will choose a winner at the end of today after everybody's gotten a chance to watch the video. Quick update for those of you that are just joining us now. We are going to begin our conversation about starting over in just a moment, but I just wanted to check on how the robots were doing. Up about just a really slow day so far, $18 today, 746 for the month, down 25 right now. This account's up 71 for the month. This is a smaller account, down $1.23 in trades right now. No big deal there. Love running those robots. That honeymoon experiment is coming along really nicely. For those that are interested in that honeymoon trading experience, hold on tight. I'll send you a link at the end of the video. But most important, I want to welcome you here, remind you that we're doing a contest today for everybody that's watching. I'll remind you a couple of additional times during the video. All right, so we're going to get a little bit philosophical here in our video today. I was thinking the other day, today's my 1-year wedding anniversary. Nate's here right now. Nate's the one who performed the marriage ceremony, so thank you, Nate. And I was thinking about, wow, the other day, like, how great would it have been if I had met my wife way earlier in life? And so we tend to do this with our life, and with our trading, and with everything else. We tend to mark a beginning time in our life, and then we tend to say, here we are now. And then we imagine this line stretching out into the future. And we imagine that the now could be something extraordinarily different if at some earlier point in time, we could call this, what would we call this really important critical moment in time earlier in our life where we had like a fork in the road. And if we had just taken that fork in the road, all of this would have been different. And we would have had an entirely new set of magical experiences if we had only known then what we knew now. In other words, if we could retroactively give ourselves some kind of time machine. And for every single area of our lives, for health, for happiness, for our relationships, or because we're here talking about trading, when it comes to money, we think about, wow, if I had only known this about saving money or investing money, or we tend to play these kinds of games in our minds. Nate, have you ever done this before where you're like, man, if I'd only known...
Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, like it can drive you crazy, right? So if I'd only known. And I want to just bring up a couple of things which are true statements. For example, if when I had started trading, I had only focused on one particular method, that would have been great. Now, it doesn't count if I say something like, oh my gosh, if when I first started trading, I had only decided to buy the euro. If I had only known the future, that doesn't really count. If I had only focused. And then another one would be, like if I could go back in time and if I had only made choices if I had only made more choices, if I had only been decided to take control. I don't know if any of you have ever felt like this. If you had only decided earlier on to not let someone else or something else control you, but you had decided to take control, that would be great. And then there's all those, what I call time machine what ifs. You know, what if I had known that my wife-to-be was out there somewhere and I could only have met up with her and had some kind of Michael J. Fox Back to the Future moment or whatever. And these things are interesting, and they're interesting for a moment, but that's a giant waste of time. And that's where most people end up focusing. Most people end up saying, wow, if I could only have predicted the future, everything would be so different now. And if you imagine where you are right now in life, you are one day going to be down the road here, so plus 20 years. You're going to be down the road plus 20 years from now. And you're going to look back on this particular day. You're going to look back on maybe even today, maybe March 13th of 2018. You would look back and you could say, wow, if I had only known. And you could say, for instance, well, that's, you know, if I'd only known that one person existed, or if I'd only known that I should focus on that one strategy, if I'd only known that I could have saved this amount of money, or if I had only been able to focus on whatever, you're going to look back on this. That instead of focusing on all this historical, nostalgic BS, if you could just cancel that out. Like, great, you are who you are, I am who I am, we are who we are now, can't change the past, it's over. You got to put your past in your behind, right? So what you really have, instead of all that garbage in the past, you have right now. And right now, you have a chance to choose a path here, 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 and they all sort of lead to different destinations. So I'll tell you a story about that. In 1991, I was in Naples, Italy. I was in Napoli, and I was enjoying myself as a missionary for the Mormon Church at the time. And I was with people I loved, and it was the day before Christmas, and I was like super happy in the city. And I got this phone call from the mission president. And the mission president's the man who's in charge of all the missionaries in all of the Rome mission. And he called me up on the phone and he says, I need you to go to another city in the mission. I need you to go up north to L'Aquila, which is the snow. And I need you to get up there soon because the missionaries who were there, they got into some trouble. They did some things that maybe they shouldn't have done. And I need you to go up there and help me rectify the situation and clean things up. And I've been dealing with bad trades ever since. And felt really down about that. And I was leaving all the people that I loved, and I said a tearful goodbye. And I remember saying goodbye to Paolo Musmara and Marina Troiani and Mama Troiani and all of my friends. But those were these really important people in my life. And I went up north into the mountains, into the snow, and I missed the holidays with these people that I loved. And I remember getting up to this city and feeling like I could feel sorry for myself, or I could focus on the fact that no one in this city, right now, as of that now, no one in that city knew who I was. No one had ever met me before. None of the other missionaries really knew me very well. No one really, you know, I was kind of brand new to everybody. Ron Paul, who's not watching this video, he was there, and well, he may be watching this video. But that was the now, and I realized I could make any choices I wanted to right then. And I realized this really important thing right at that moment in my life. That could be a complete starting over for me. That my mission had already been going on for 10 months or so. And I could do I could really, literally recreate myself into anyone I wanted to be at that single point in time. And I could change the things about myself that I didn't like, and I could be the best person I could possibly be, and none of the people around me would be the wiser. I could be whoever I wanted to be. So my companion at the time was Rand Johnson, And he was on the way home from his mission. He had 1 month left, and he hadn't necessarily had the greatest time. He'd been dealt a bad hand of cards. And he and I together decided to make the last month of his mission extra special, something significant, something really great. And we decided that we would become something that no one else had ever met before, that we would do our best, that we would try our hardest, that we would give it our best, and we would have a good time. And we made this decision that we would have a conscious decision to start over and be our best and do things differently. And if you're just joining us now, welcome. I'm Rob Booker. Welcome here. Leave us a comment. Tell Nate hello in the comments below. We're giving away an Amazon Echo today, so leave us a comment. Let us know where you're from. Say hi. Anyway, so I had this chance at that moment to be whoever I wanted to be. And every single time I got to a new city in the mission, I did the same thing again. I said, I'm going to be someone. I'm going to be the best I can be. I'm going to just change the things about myself that I'm maybe not really super happy with. And now's the time. And then I got home from my mission, and I realized I could do that every day if I wanted, necessarily, or whatever. And now I'm here standing in front of you 26 years later, 25 years later, and you have the same decision right now. That your life can really only go the further you are along in life. There are only a few more different paths that you can take, a few more major changes that you can make. But a small adjustment in who you are or your identity can have major effects on who you are. Now, my friend Matt and Sean and I had a conversation the other day, and we kind of came to the conclusion that most people are trying to change their behavior to change who they are, trying to change their behaviors. And changing your behavior is really difficult. But if you change instead who you identify yourself to be, self-identification, or your identity. If you do that instead, your behaviors automatically change. So for instance, and I'm getting to a really important point here. I got to write slower or else the whiteboard doesn't like it. Change your identity, you change your behavior or your actions. And then you change the outcome of your life. Most people, most traders, are trying to change their behaviors as a trader. They're trying to say, teach me an entry method, teach me behaviors. But if you instead say, today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be the kind of trader that holds on to my wins. I'm going to be the kind of trader that closes out all my trades when I'm ahead. Then your whole outcome of your life changes. If you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm just going to be the kind of person that doesn't let things happen to me, I'm going to proactively go for those things. If you right now, I think you choose two things. If right now in your life you choose focus, number one, and I think you choose conscious choice to act and not be acted upon, the entire trajectory of your life has a chance to change and you can start over. Why do I say all of this? Well, I'm going to put it in very specific and very specific trading terms. So these are my accounts. This is a mirror of my larger trading account, and this is my $10,000 account. And these two accounts are just running a robot called the Finch, which you've heard me talk about before. And all I'm choosing to do is the same thing I just decided. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to recommit myself to focus. I'm going to recommit myself to absolutely focusing on this as the primary method of generating profits, which I already know works and I've been using for a long time. I'm already really happy with. And then second of all, I'm going to make a conscious choice that when this account goes into profit or this account goes into profit, I'm going to close all the trades. Even if I'm going to give back half the money I've made for the day or the week, I'm going to consciously choose to close everything out and let everything start running again. And there's all kinds of questions that have come in since then, like why don't you just hang on to it? Why don't you just close the bad ones? Why don't you let the winners run? A lot of great questions. And I've just decided focus. Just going to do one simple thing, and then I'm going to make a conscious choice when the wins are there, when the money is there. And then what's my life going to be like as a trader 7 years from now when I've done that focus? Well, I probably will make between 1 and 10% a month, and I'll probably have a very small amount of drawdown, insignificant, and I'll have the happiness that comes from not having to panic or worry or be frustrated with what's going on. So every single one of us watching today, all of us, you have a choice that right now you can start anything over that you want to, and you can focus on a trading system that you know can work. You can focus on making your choices rather than having them made for you. As traders, we oftentimes get ourselves into losing positions. We let it happen. We let them go on. We don't consciously do anything about them. We let those things sit. We don't proactively face those problems head on. And so these are the two major obstacles in life that lead to most of the disappointment or most of the regret or most of those nostalgic feelings of if I could just go back in time. Well, you are back in time. This is 20 years ago, if you're 20 years in the future. So what is it about your life right now that you want to change right now? I would submit that focus and conscious, active, proactive choice would be two things that you could possibly think about. But there could be all kinds of other areas of your life. And I would encourage you, as we finish up the video, to not think about changing your behavior or your actions today, but change what kind of person you identify yourself as. Do you identify as, or are you the kind of person that lets other people do things to you? Or are you the kind of person that asks for what you want? Are you the kind of person that lets life pass you by? Or are you the kind of person that says yes to opportunities? Are you afraid of the toxic people in your life? Or are you the kind of person that says enough is enough already? Are you the kind of person who goes to and fro and switches between trading systems all the time? Or do you identify yourself as a person who is focused? Because a person who is focused automatically has a bunch of actions that spill out beyond that. You decide who you really want to be, and then one day you just wake up and say, I'm going to start acting like that person. Rather than feel guilty that you have a bunch of behaviors or actions that you don't like, forget about that. Just love yourself for who you are as a trader and a human or whatever else, and decide what kind of person you're going to be for the next 20 years. And decide what the consequences of that would be. What are the consequences of you being an ultra-focused person who stands up for what is right, asks for what you want, and accepts nothing less than the best for yourself? What are the consequences of living a life like that for 20 years? What are the consequences of choosing happiness and kindness and thoughtfulness for the next 20 years of your life as opposed to bitterness, victimization, and unhappiness? What are the consequences of identifying yourself as that kind of a person moving forward? Well, I know today wasn't a ton about trading, but it's really about who we are and what we want out of life. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you'll leave a comment and your thoughts and your observations about this video below. We'll pick a winner for an Amazon Echo today, and then later on in the day, we'll let you know how to get in touch with us. If you're the winner, we'll tell you in the comments below that you're the winner, and then we'll tell you to email us or send us a message on Facebook with your address so we can ship that to you Amazon Prime style. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks to Nate for running the camera and marrying me to my wife a year ago today. And we will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.